We're good?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, we're making a soldering video for the family to see everyone helping. Say hi.
Hi.
Alrighty. So, we're gonna make this video public for all the family and friends to see. I'm not a professional. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just helping Joy learn how to solder wires. So don't try this at home. Alrighty. So what we're gonna do is we're trying to move some of the wiring away from here and up over closer to the fender wall here. And we're trying to get rid of some of the excess so it looks a little bit nicer. And so we can put the conduit.
Where's the conduit?
Like we have here.
Oh.
We're gonna put more conduit like this through here and along the back so that it hides all the wires. So one thing we have to do, and we've done a few of them already, is cut and splice these together. So what we're gonna wanna do is take the spot that we want to solder. We're gonna cut one side of it. Now we're gonna wanna do about 3/4 of an inch or so of wire to splice together. So we're gonna take that right about there and give it a trim. Throw that away. Then we're gonna take the wire strippers and we're going to take this wire at right about a little bit more, right about there, and strip it. Then get another piece here, about the same length, and strip it. Okay, so, we dropped our heat shrink. So now we have our two ends. What we're gonna wanna do first is add flux. Flux helps you solder. It helps the solder move throughout the wires, and when it does that, it makes it so that it's a better joint and the more capability the electricity has to move through it. If it's not a good joint, you're going to create a bunch of resistance, and that's a bad thing when it comes to wiring.
But I think you didn't put this stuff on the other wires inside the Nova.
I did.
You did?
Yes, on all the connections, we put flux on there because we soldered all the connections to...
You probably didn't do it when I saw you doing it.
Yours.
Because
Okay.
I've never seen this container.
Well, that one's different than the one I used. I used a different one. So you saw me using this one.
Yeah.
Does this look more familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a different one. It's the same stuff. Okay, so for the
Your hands can read it.
for the joints, I like to make a little bit of a fan. We'll get that in a second. And then make a little bit of a fan. And that way when you put the wires together, they kind of intertwine properly.
And then you just
And then
give it
you
a good
twist it.
twist.
Give it a good twist. Once it's twisted good, and it's got a pretty good connection, let's go ahead and use the helping hands. So this guy is going to be awkward to try to find a place to set it, but we'll do our best. I missed something.
What?
I got ahead of myself. Okay, we forgot heat shrink.
Did you make this handy helper or?
No, I just bought it.
Where did you buy it?
I bought it maybe online.
So on Amazon?
Possibly. Okay, so this is not going to be as pretty as it was before, but we're going to do the same thing.
Did you mess up?
I did. I didn't put the heat shrink on there, which is a very important step. Because once you solder it and you don't have the heat shrink on there, you're not going to get it on.
Yeah.
So we're going to repeat the process of making our joint again.
Okay.
Okay, so that's good and tight. We grab our helping hands here. And this does a couple of things. It helps us so that we don't get burnt. And it keeps it in one spot so that we don't have to worry about it moving around and chasing it down. So let's see if we can kind of get
Because
that.
the other ones, it wasn't that bad.
So we're good to go. So now we're gonna get the soldering gun nice and warm and get our solder. Oh no, is it solder what you dropped?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You could hold this
It's alright.
and
I've got another
okay.
one.
Okay. Oh, oops. Wait, what happened? Oh.
It's good. We're good.
Okay.
We're good.
Good.
Okay. So we're smoking. We're nice and hot. Stay away from that smoke. It's not good for you. That's why we got the fans moving. And what we're gonna want to do is put the soldering gun under the wires.
Why is that?
Well, the solder moves towards the heat.
Why can't you just let the metal drip?
We want it to move through and not just in. So this wire is a little bit thicker than what we had, so it's just going to take a little bit more time.
And what time is it? Because it's probably dark outside.
It is definitely dark outside. That's why we're in the garage.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have solder through the whole thing.
We also put it in here because when we were starting working on the car, it was like hot. Maybe it was like last week, maybe?
It has been pretty warm.
Yeah. So we
Alrighty.
moved it inside, but if it wasn't that hot, then we would be working outside.
Alrighty, so now we're going to add our dielectric grease. The dielectric grease is going to help give us a waterproof, or at least water resistant seal. So we'll get that on there the best we can.
Yeah.
Coat it real good. Get rid of the excess. And then we'll get this guy. Try to go over it the best we can. Thank you, helper. Alrighty, so now we're gonna heat up the heat shrink.
All it does is, as it is in its name, it's a heat shrink.
Uh-huh.
So it shrinks when it gets hot.
Good job.
You know I go to school, right?
You're so smart. Okay, see how it pushed out all the excess?
Yep.
And we're done. We have a brand new
Wire.
soldered wire that's gonna make the Nova nice and clean. Alrighty,